In June of 2014, a young couple named Dan and Laura closed on their dream home. A 6-bedroom house built in 1905 on a quiet tree-lined street in New Jersey. They had 3 kids, the schools were good, and they moved in that same week. Then an envelope showed up in the mailbox with no return address and their names handwritten on the front. The letter welcomed them to the neighborhood. Then it explained that the writer's grandfather had watched the house in the 20s, his father had watched it in the 60s, and now the house was his to watch. He asked if they knew what was in the walls. He asked if they were bringing him young blood. It was signed The Watcher. They called the police, who told them there wasn't a whole lot they could do but to report anything else that came. The second letter came a week later, and this one knew things it shouldn't. It used their children's names, it knew what they were renovating and which contractors were doing the work. It mentioned that the youngest had picked the bedroom facing the backyard and said she'd chosen well. They had never told anyone which rooms the kids picked. They installed cameras on every door and window. The cameras never caught anything, but the third letter mentioned the cameras. It asked whether the paint fumes upstairs had cleared, and said the new curtains in the master bedroom were a good choice, but that they don't quite close all the way. The next morning, Dan found footprints in the flower bed under the master bedroom window, pressed into the mulch the landscapers had added the evening before. The police worked the case for months. Every letter was mailed from the same zip code. Handwriting analysis, DNA from the envelopes, background checks on every neighbor with a view of the property. All of it came back empty. The family lasted 6 months. The night they found the 4th letter, they packed the kids into the car and never slept in that house again. Because the 4th letter wasn't in the mailbox. It had no stamp, no postmark. It was lying flat in the middle of the kitchen table. They sold the house at a huge loss and moved 3 states away. The watcher was never identified. Another family lives there now. They have 2 kids, and they moved in during the summer. 3 days later, an envelope showed up in the mailbox with no return address and their names handwritten on the front.